Alongside the shoddy treatment of the Birmingham families, we have the refusal of an inquiry into Orgreave on the basis that nobody died. If that is now the Home Secretary's benchmark for whether wrongdoing can be investigated, then God help us all. Nobody died at Orgreave, true, but innocent people were wrongly and maliciously prosecuted, and the country should know how that came to be. Nobody died during the building workers' dispute of the early 70s either, but it doesn't mean we should not be told the truth about the politically motivated Shrewsbury show trial and what I believe was a serious miscarriage of justice. Then there is the treatment of victims of contaminated blood, arguably the gravest injustice of all. They have been led up to the top of the hill only to be let down once again. But as with Hillsborough, clear evidence of serious wrongdoing is there if only people care to look for it. I have seen evidence that people's medical records were altered without their consent, and false entries included. That is potentially a criminal matter, Mr. Speaker. Next month, I hope to persuade you to allow me to use the adjournment to present a dossier of such evidence. Just as amended police statements reopened Hillsborough, so I believe evidence of amended medical records must reopen the contaminated blood scandal. The fact that these victims remain in the darkest of wildernesses tells me that Hillsborough hasn't changed our country yet. But I remain hopeful that it will. If this bill was law, it would be the right way for this House to make reparation and create a permanent legislative legacy for the 96 people who died on April the 15th, 1989. Last year, the Prime Minister asked the Right Reverend Bishop James Jones to conduct a review of the experience of the Hillsborough families. On behalf of the whole House, I would like to again thank the Bishop for his incredible service to those families and indeed everyone affected by the tragedy, and respectfully ask him to consider adopting this bill as part of his recommendations. In this country, we like to talk of ourselves as a paragon of democracy and the rule of law. But I finish, Mr. Speaker, by asking this of every member in this House. Think of the constituents you have met at your surgeries who have spent years fighting for justice. Picture now the lines on their faces, the black shadows beneath their eyes. Then ask yourself this: is this country fair to people who, through no fault of their own, find themselves fighting for loved ones? We all know the answer: no. The fight is too hard, it takes too great a toll, it grinds people down. This is not a country of justice as we like to claim. There is a possibility I may not be around in this House long enough to see this bill into law, but I have enough faith in the decency and humanity of colleagues on all sides to be confident that one day it will. And I commend this bill to the House.
Well, the question is that the right honourable member have leave to bring in the bill. As many as have that opinion say aye. Aye. If the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.